It's not my course. It's our course, and that's the way that we lead and operate. It's the teams, it's the memberships, it's Bellerive. That's the great part of being a part of a club as historic as Bellerive, that you're just a part of history. So it's not one individual, it's a group.
Hey everybody, it's Seth Jones, Editor-in-Chief of Golfdom Magazine. I'm out here in St. Louis at beautiful Bellerive Country Club. I'm being joined by Carlos Arraya. Carlos, thanks for giving me the tour today, showing me around this beautiful piece of property.
Thank you for being with us.
So my first question for you is just tell me about how you got out here to Bellerive. Tell me about where you're from, your career path, and how you got to Bellerive today.
Yeah, I started in my career in Florida. Started working, my goal was to be an engineer, and then catapulted into the golf industry and worked my way through several different regions in Florida, and then ended up being fortunate enough to being called to Bellerive and interviewed through a pretty grueling interview process. Passed all the checks and balances, and here I am.
And we're counting down the days to the 100th PGA Championship. How many days out are we right now?
82 days and about 11 hours before the first tee shot.
All right, down to the hour. So we just spent some time together talking for a feature story in the magazine, and I asked you a question, and you gave me an interesting answer that caught my ear. I asked you, what part of the job really drives you? What is it that you really, makes you love being a golf course superintendent? And you said people. That's not an answer I get all the time. Can you explain to me why you're really into team building and the people in the industry? Can you kind of talk to me about your beliefs and your frame of mind with an answer like that?
Yeah, I think it's gotten a lot of traction. I think the last few months, the more the industry gets to know a little bit about me, and because of the being magnified with the championship. But my mindset's been, from early on, we were talking coming up about the cutting units. They'll cut with anyone on it, but they'll cut better not only through just the setup, but also through the people managing and operating those pieces of equipment. And I've always felt that that's a huge piece. The more you invest into the bodies, the more they're going to kind of return the favor. And that's become more and more true over the last, I would say, 5 years. And as we talked earlier, I think it's beginning to become more progressive in our industry as the millennials start to phase out into different roles and the new iGens start to phase in, with the anticipation of working only 40 hours a week. And if you don't think that that's a reality, I think you're kidding yourself, and I mean that politely, but I think you're going to see more of that. And how do we adapt as an industry to those changes? We're struggling in the labor market. So that philosophy's kind of grown into ideas within our team about how do we make it more fun? How do we make it where it is a balance and not just talked about? So that initial investment years ago has just gotten in my mind of itself as I've progressively gone through my career, and now here at Bellerive, where we have more bodies and a lot more horsepower when it comes to management, and everyone's buying into that.
Great. And you'll be able to read more about Carlos and these ideas in the new issue of Golfdom. Get a plug in for my magazine there. Carlos, we're up here. We got a beautiful view of the course right here. The weather's really cooperating with us today. Talk to me about just the legacy that this course has. I mean, I was reading some up on it, and some of my favorite golfers have had some success out here because I'm a big Gary Player guy, and Nick Price is a guy I got to know. But just kind of talk to me about just what this course means to the game.
Well, it's my opinion, right? But when you look at the history, it's kind of unique. It's pretty quiet. It's not well as known. People know the name, but when you look at kind of what championships have been here, back in '65 when it was on this site, the fact that it's over 100 years old, it's got a rich history with its membership and generations, that there's so many stories that you can hear from member to member. And then when you start talking about industry leaders about what they remember and recall, and that legacy and their stories that come through, it's unique compared to others because they just don't have that same rich history. And there are some, but we're in that unique group of a select few. I would say the top 5%, whatever that is in our industry. And it has a lot of value to St. Louis, and also, in my opinion, our industry in the United States.
Great. Well, Carlos, thanks again for your time. Beautiful piece of property out here. Congratulations to you guys, and good luck leading into the PGA Championship.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Hey, everybody, this is Carlos Arraya. Give him a follow on Twitter. What's your Twitter handle?
C. Arraya, CGCS.
Give Carlos a follow on Twitter. He's good on Twitter. I'm Seth Jones. Thanks for watching Golfdom TV.